Joining me right now is North Dakota Senator, Senate Armed Services Committee member Kevin Cramer. And Senator, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Your reaction to this back and forth between the U.S. and Russia. Apparently the letter was hand-delivered to Moscow, and some of those demands that Putin made were unrealistic to begin with.
Well, they are, Maria, and it's frankly, first of all, let me say that I think Anthony Blinken's comments, the clip you just played, are spot on and delivered well. And I hope that that message is not only the one delivered, but the one that is heard and received by Vladimir Putin. He's exactly right. The ball is in Vladimir Putin's court. The notion that somehow the United States could unilaterally make the decision to not allow Ukraine into NATO is ludicrous on its face. Not to mention, it's not what we would do. And then to suggest that somehow the removal of troops, as though we're the aggressor here, or that Ukraine is the aggressor when Vladimir Putin puts, well over 100,000 troops on the border. Again, ludicrous on its face, but this is how Vladimir Putin plays. This is why, though, Maria, the signal coming from the United States needs to be strong, it needs to be specific, it needs to be unified, not chaotic and not weak. And at the same time, we have to continue to unify our NATO allies and all of Europe on the same side of this issue.
So, Senator, Putin put forth these items that he knew would be unacceptable, and then he comes back likely to say, well, Russia has to protect itself, and that includes an invasion of Ukraine. Do you expect Russia to invade Ukraine?
So, Maria, a lot of people say that. They do expect that. It looks like an acceleration. It's hard to deny that. At the same time, I'm not completely convinced that Vladimir Putin's, ultimate goal is an invasion as much as getting something done. Let's not forget, at the heart of a lot of this is the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, something that Vladimir Putin wants, something that is built and done. All that needs to be finished is the certification and the acceptance of the natural gas. And it's hard to know how far he'd go to make that the norm. In other words, to this point, the norm has been, let's stop it. Now, I think perhaps that's his motivation. I don't know. So I don't like to predict. I still believe that there's plenty of opportunity for him to do the right thing, but he'll only do the right thing if we send the right signals. And I think, again, Secretary of State Blinken's message that you just played is the right signal.
Senator, we're waiting on some economic data. We're going to get the GDP and the jobless claims any minute now, and that's going to give us a window into the economy. But there is a worry that nominations ahead will impact economic growth, such as in the banking sector. The nomination hearing scheduled next week for President Biden's top banking regulator picks. Sarah Bloom Raskin is the nomination for Biden's overseer of banks, and that is Jamie Raskin's wife, a congressman on the Democrat side. Then there's governors Lisa Cook and Philip Jefferson. Senate Banking Chair Sherrod Brown says he expects bipartisan confirmations. Do you expect these people to get confirmed? Bloom Raskin has come under fire over her comments on financial regulations and how they should approach fossil fuel.
Well, I have great concerns about Bloom Raskin. In fact, I still have some of the same concerns about Lael Brainerd for vice chair. Now, Bloom Raskin has been even more radical in terms of her approach on climate and fossil fuels. Remember that a lot of times it's how you say things matters as much as saying them. To Bloom Raskin's credit, she's been so blatant and so blunt that there's no question that she has. In fact, I think at one point she said, she advocates a transformation of the American economy, the only way to really deal with climate change. Well, we have the greatest economic system in the world. I don't want it transformed fundamentally or any other way. Our markets work really, really well. But you also learn in the language, like Lael Brainerd, she referenced scenario analysis. Well, scenario analysis in the context of climate, leads to climate stress tests, which leads to the ultimate goal, again, of fundamentally transforming the American economy. Lisa Cook, with regard to her, she's just fundamentally not qualified in my mind. So, no, I don't think it'll be a bipartisan nomination process or confirmation process. My hope is that we fight like, heck, as Republicans to get some moderate Democrats on board and stop one or two of these. Yeah,
so are you a no on Raskin?
Well, I never start it, no, but I can tell you, having read lots of what she has said and what she's advocated for, she's got a lot of proving to do with me. So, no, I'd certainly start out leaning no, but open to being convinced that she somehow has had a change of heart, a sincere change of heart.
Yeah. All right. Senator, good to see you. Thanks so much.